Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this, I will be taking you through a full week of workouts. I typically work out about 4 to 6 days a week. It really depends on how I'm feeling, how energy levels are feeling, how motivation is. But for this week of workouts, I took you through 6 workouts just to show you kind of what a week where I was feeling highly motivated. I think it was just because I was filming for you guys, and what I do if I do decide on like a Saturday morning if I want to train with Mitch. So this video was 6 days of in the gym weight training. For the days, I was following a plan by Brendan Teets, I believe. It's called Flapjacks to Thick Stacks. It is a 4-day split, lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body. Typically, if I were just not really feeling it, I would just call it after those 4 days, and then the other 3 days where I wasn't doing anything, try to stay active, either get my steps in, go for walks, maybe go for a bike ride if it were nice out, stuff like that. Just make sure I'm not sitting all day. But Friday, I decided I wanted to hit my glutes really hard, so I did a glute focused workout. And then Saturday are usually the days where Mitch and I have a little bit more time at the gym. I just like to work out with him, so we did a shoulder and back workout. Those are my 2 favorite things to train right now, so I thought why not throw them into a workout together. But just an example of how my weeks do vary. This week, I know for a fact that I'm gonna be going to one F45 class with my cousin, so probably won't lift all 6 days. I'll probably do lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, and then fit in that F45 class somewhere in between, and depending how I'm feeling after that, because those high intensity classes kick my butt. So this week might only be 5 workouts, next week might be 4. It really varies. So just thought I would share how I usually program and decide what I'm gonna do that week. I know it's kind of sporadic, but I don't like to set myself up to work like 6 days a week because I get really stressed if I can't hit all those. So I'm following a plan that's a 4-day plan, and then I fill in the gaps if I feel like I have the energy that week. Today is a full lower body workout, the very first workout of the week. We always start off with a dynamic warm up, if you will. I never static stretch before a workout, so that's just when you're like this. Like those type of movements, always keeping it dynamic. So start off with a deep squat, and you kind of rock side to side, getting that deep stretch in your hips. A really great way to open up your hips. Next, we're moving into a deep squat with a thoracic twist. So just twisting the upper body and raising the arm toward the sky, and your head is following. I do each of these movements for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then I move on. Next, we move into a deep lunge, making sure you're doing both sides. And again, when you're in that deep lunge, rocking your hips back and forth a little bit just to get a deeper stretch. You don't want to be going super crazy and hurting yourself, but just like a nice slow rock. We moved into windshield wipers, so sitting on your butt and having your knees at a 90-degree angle, and essentially like windshield wiping them back and forth. And then the very last like dynamic warm-up was a deep, I don't know the name of this, but it's again, you're in that deep squat position, like a deep side lunge, and you're moving slowly back and forth. Such a great stretch, feels so good on the hips. And then we got into the workout. Like I say all the time, I still warm up with like just the bar, and then I gradually move up in weight until I start my working weight. I never just like hop into whatever my working set weight is. Very first exercise was a back squat. So we did 3 by 5 here, and then we did 1 by AMRAP. AMRAP meaning as many reps as possible. Do not change the weight. So let's say you started at 100 pounds, 3 by 5. Last set, you're doing 1 by AMRAP, so 100 pounds for as many reps as you can. The next exercise was hip thrust. So we did 4 by 8 here, and at the top of each thrust, you're holding for a 2-second count and then releasing back down. Holding at the top again for a 2-second count and then going back down. Really squeezing the glutes at the top there. We then moved into a conventional deadlift. So conventional is where your feet are more in line with your shoulders rather than that sumo stance that you might see a lot. So conventional deadlift, we did 3 by 5 reps, and then we did 1 by AMRAP. Again, AMRAP is just as many reps as possible at the same weight that you did the 3 by 5 reps at. And then the next exercises were a superset. I don't know if I've talked about this yet, but supersets are when you complete one exercise, There's no rest in between, and then you go immediately into the next exercise. So this was walking lunges supersetted with banded side steps. So we did 4 by 10 each leg, so 20 lunges all together, immediately into those banded side steps. 4 by 10 for the banded steps as well. So I usually take 10 steps to the right, and then I'll move back and take 10 steps to the left. Just a reminder with your compound lifts, and honestly any of your exercises that you're doing, always do them with slow and controlled movements. There may be some exercises where I emphasize like a 4-second count. If I don't mention a 4-second count, still have like a 1 to 2 second count, just because you don't want to be doing like your reps really fast. You want to have a slow, engaged reps, really making sure that you're working those muscles and engaging those muscles. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this leg day, and I will talk to you guys later. We're hitting upper body today. I'm also following Brendan Tietz's From Flapjacks to Thick Stacks program. Today is literally the second day. So I hit legs yesterday. I'm freaking dead. I start literally every single workout with a warm-up. Warming up is literally so important. We don't want to hurt our shoulders. We don't want to get injured at all. So I typically start with like 10 to 15 minutes walking on the treadmill, and then depending on what body part I'm training that day, but I start with like shoulder dislocates. I do each exercise for about 30 seconds or so, and then I do pull aparts, and then I will just do some light lateral raises just to warm up those shoulders. And then I usually also warm up with like the first exercise I'm doing. Typically it's a compound movement, so I'll warm up there. So today I started with bench press, 2 by 5, then 1 by AMRAP. So I warmed up with just the bar, then bumped up 10s on each end, bumped up to 20 pounds on each end, and then I started my set. Okay, next we have pull-ups. I have an absolute love-hate relationship with pull-ups. I feel like some days I could do like 10 pull-ups, and other days I can barely do 3. So today's were 2 by 5 and then 1 by AMRAP. So I think I was only able to do 2 by 4, and then on my third set I added a unassisted band so I could get as many reps as possible. It still ended up only being 4. That's okay. I was pushing my body, and as long as you're challenging yourself, doesn't matter how much weight you can do or how many reps you can do. Next, we moved into a Pendlay row. I low-key feel like Pendlay rows are one of the exercises that has really helped grow or like increase my strength when it comes to back exercises. They're kind of an awkward movement. Like it almost feels like a deadlift, but you're hinging way more at your hips. Like you've got a forward lean, you're almost parallel to the ground, and you're just lifting. The rep scheme today was 3 by 8. So then we moved into Arnold press. I used to never do these. Don't sleep on Arnold press. Today we did a 3 by 10 rep scheme at 20 pounds. My shoulders were freaking toasted. This was kind of a long workout, but we hit the entire upper body, so it was kind of like nice to get all done in one day. Next, we supersetted lat raises with skull crushers. So I just did like a tricep extension, an overhead tricep extension, because personally skull crushers really hurt my elbow when I'm in that position, so I just stay away from those. Please do skull crushers if you enjoy them. I just, personal preference, do not enjoy like that lying down position and extending like that. So we did 3 by 12 on both of those exercises. So we did lat raises, put down the weight, take 0 break, right into skull crushers. And then the last 2 exercises of today, we hit arms. So we did a tricep extension standing on the cable, and then a cable curl also on the cable machine. So again, superset, no rest in between, 12 reps of tricep extensions, and then immediately into 12 reps of cable curls. Your arms will be toasted. Typically lately, I've been trying to get more steps in. So after I complete my whole workout, I might hop back on the treadmill for another 10 to 15 minutes. Walking 10 to 15 minutes before a workout and after a workout is such an easy way to just get 30 minutes of walking in without it feeling like you're just like on the treadmill, wasting your life away, just bored as hell, because I'm definitely someone who hates walking on the treadmill and just staring off into nothing. So a quick 10 to 15 minutes before and a quick 10 to 15 minutes after, a great way just to get your steps in and not just feel like you hate your life on the treadmill. So I start my leg day, every single leg day, with warm-ups. Didn't record warm-ups. Always warm up. Upper body, lower body, doesn't matter. We're always warming up. Anyways, like I said, never skip a warm-up. Today we did a lower body hypertrophy. This is my second leg day of the week. The first exercise was literally sumo deadlifts. I cannot remember the last time I did sumo deadlifts. I honestly don't think I've ever done them seriously or like added them to a program just because my long torso, short leg combo. We tried something new today and it was freaking hard. I only did 95 pounds, but we did 3x8 and moved right into squats. And then we moved right into 3x8 squats, back squats. This is the second time I've squatted this week. I can't remember the last time where I squatted religiously just because like back pain, but I finally feel like I'm in a spot where I can squat regularly, so I'm super excited about that. We did 3x8 at 110 pounds. Anything over 5 reps, I'm like dying. And then next we did a Romanian deadlift. I absolutely love doing my deadlifts on a landmine. It just takes the balancing out of everything and really allows me to engage my glutes. It didn't call for like a 4-second on the eccentric, but I just added that in myself just because it just gives me such a good stretch and I feel like it really, like I just really feel it in my glutes. Absolutely love that exercise. Okay, next we moved into a superset. Like I said before, a superset is when you do one exercise and immediately move into the next exercise with 0 rest. So we did a dumbbell RDL, immediately into a cable pull through, and then we did 3x12 of each of those exercises. Again, moving really slowly with the dumbbells, really engaging those glutes, and then with the cable pull throughs, I just get a nice squeeze at the top and make sure you're really stretching those hamstrings at the bottom and hinging at the hips. The next exercise was paused goblet squats, 2 seconds in the hole. So meaning 2 seconds when you're sitting at the bottom of that goblet squat. We did 3x12 of those. Quads on freaking fire. Absolutely love goblet squats. And then the very last exercise, I did cable kickbacks, and we did 3x15 of those. I get such a good squeeze, and I don't know if you guys like what you typically use, but like getting an ankle strap like this does wonders. I feel like it just allows you to get a really good squeeze rather than just sticking your foot in like a handle or something. Get yourself an ankle strap. I think that's it for my leg day. So today was a full upper body hypertrophy workout. Again, we are still doing Brendan Tietz's flapjacks to thick stacks. It's day 4. Why don't I have thick stacks yet? I actually was able to film a clip of me walking on the treadmill. I just asked Mitch to do it. Always walk 10 to 15 minutes on the treadmill, get nice and warm, and then immediately into warm-ups. I'm gonna just say this every single day. Don't skip your freaking warm-ups. Like literally just don't. We're not trying to get injured, and we need to prepare properly before we destroy our muscles. So first exercise was either close grip bench or dumbbell overhead press. So I did bench earlier this week, so I decided to do overhead press. That was 3x8, really focusing on keeping your core tight and not arching your back when you're pressing. Okay, next exercise was pronated grip pull down, and we did 3x8 sets there. So supinated would be like this and pronated would be like this. So when you're grabbing the bar, picture me from behind, you're grabbing the bar like this. You'll see in the video. So we did 3x8 there, and then we moved immediately into a seated cable row. The cable machine was extremely busy, so I just did a row machine. It's all the same thing. I do usually prefer a cable because I feel like I get a better stretch. So if you have access to a cable, I would definitely do this on a cable. Really make sure you're squeezing at the back, allowing your shoulders to round and really get that stretch, and then squeezing at the back. Next, we moved into face pull with external rotation, and then we did 3x12 there. Face pull is probably one of the most difficult exercises for me to master. I don't know why. It's such a simple move, but really just make sure you keep your elbows high and you're not letting your elbows drop. It's not hard, but it is hard. Next, we moved into a superset. You guys know what this is. Superset is doing one exercise immediately into another exercise, no rest in between. So we did a dumbbell curl with a tricep push down. I did a push down on the cable. I feel like that's where I get the best squeeze versus like doing maybe a dumbbell extension like this or a kickback like that. I feel like the cable machine really allows me to like get that squeeze at the bottom. Immediately into a dumbbell curl. So I don't know why, but I absolutely hate doing dumbbell curls. So I did a barbell curl. Really make sure that you're keeping your elbows to your side when you're curling like this, rather than like swinging your arms up and having your elbow come up here. So like this is super exaggerated. So curling like this, really make sure elbows stuck to the side and we're curling like that, and try not to like swing your body with it. You're just staying tight, and the only thing moving is literally your arm. Lastly, we did lateral raises. So we did 3x15, and essentially it said 0 reps in reserve, meaning like failure. So I did 12.5 pounds and just got absolutely obliterated. I started standing up because there was no bench available, but I do prefer to do lat raises sitting down because it just, I don't swing my body while doing lat raises, but like it just allows you and prevents you from like putting your body into it, like, because sometimes just subconsciously we'll just start like swinging our bodies. So by sitting, it really allows you to just like prevent like swinging of the body. Okay, so the program I'm following is only 4 workouts a week. So it's like lower, upper. And I prefer to train like 5 days a week just because 3 days off, never really been my thing. So I wrote my own leg day. So today was a very glute focused leg day. As always, start on the treadmill with walking. I walked 20 minutes today, about a mile. Typically I don't walk a mile before, but I came a little later, had a bunch of time. So took my time, got my steps in, and then moved right into a warm up. So I started off with just sitting in a deep squat. Absolutely love that one to help open up the hips. If you can't get in that position, like your mobility just does not allow it, you can stick like 2.5 pound plates or like 5 pound plates underneath your heels to help get in that position a little bit more easily. And we moved into, I call them bootstrappers, just a nice hamstring stretch. Feels so freaking good. It does not matter if you have great mobility or if you have trash mobility, like this is gonna feel good, and just like really focusing on that hip health. All right, into the workout. First we did a single leg RDL. I kind of did a B stance. You can do this with a dumbbell if you want. I prefer to do this on the landmine. Again, it really takes away that balance and allows you to focus on the glutes. I did 3 by 8 to 10 on each leg, and then I grabbed an attachment for the cable to hook on to the end of the barbell, just because it's so much easier to hold on to that instead of holding on to like a thick barbell and like that grip strength. Honestly, mine just isn't there. That is the stretched position of the glutes and hamstrings, not the shortened. So when I'm leaned over, not when I'm standing upright. And then if you want, you can even add a couple second pause at the bottom, just really increasing that time under tension, and then moved right into just a regular hip thrust. So all of those back to back, no rest. Next, we moved into leg curls. Okay, so we did 3 by 15. I prefer a seated leg curl, or if you have like a standing leg curl, use that. The lying leg curl, I feel like if you're shorter or you're too long, it just doesn't really adjust well for different like body sizes. So that's the issue with mine. I have to scoot really far forward on it, but I digress. But 3 by 12, really squeezing the hamstrings at the top. Every single movement, if you slow it down and just really focus on that stretch, I swear it will hurt that much better. Next, we moved into a dumbbell deadlift. So lugged my 100-pound dumbbell over and we did 3 by 8. I like to keep that forward lean as much as possible rather than like lifting my chest up just to get that extra glute engagement. Really driving through the heels and keeping the weight on the back of your foot rather than on the front so you're not falling over. Keeping your core tight to help protect your back. And lastly, we did calf raises. I feel like, myself included, always neglect calves and abs, but mostly calves. I did my calves on a standing calf raise. You can do yours on an elevated surface like a step while holding on and balancing on something. You could do it on a seated calf raise, whatever you prefer. I did 3 by 20 and really holding at the top. So instead of just like pulsing, every rep at the top, you're holding for a second and then going down. Doing a shoulders and back workout. The workouts that I'm following are only 4 days a week, and I just felt like working out an extra day. Some days I like to take an extra few rest days. Some days I feel like I have the energy and I feel well rested, so I'll work out again. My current favorite things to train right now are shoulders and back. So I just combined some of my favorite exercises and threw it into one workout. Always warm up. I usually do the same upper body warm-ups for every single upper body workout. I don't like to change it up just because these are like my tried and trues and my favorite. So we did the shoulder dislocations, if you will, and then some pull aparts. My first movement is always like usually a compound movement, and I'll start with just the bar and then I'll slowly bump up until I make it to my working weight. First exercise was overhead press. I don't know why these always feel so freaking heavy. even though I only had 10s on the side. So I did 3x8, really focusing on not letting the bar come off your body. So this is me overhead pressing. This is what you don't do. So really kind of puffing your chest. This is just to prevent shoulder injury. Bar is landing right on your chest and then pressing upward just like that. Again, I see sometimes a lot of people will be doing overhead press and the bar is just way too far out in front of them. 1, you're gonna hurt your shoulders. 2, you might not even be able to get the weight up. And 3, you might just be really off balance with the weight that far ahead of you. But again, puffing your chest without like arching your back. You don't want to put that weight on that lower back. Keeping your core tight, but just puffing. I keep saying puffing your chest. That's the best way I can explain it. Just keeping your chest upright so the bar has somewhere to land. And then this is strict overhead press. So there is no knee bend or like bouncing into the movement. Just nice and strict. And it will be a little bit harder with the strict press. So don't be surprised if you can't go as heavy as you usually can. So next we moved into lat pull downs, close grip lat pull downs. So also focusing a little bit on those biceps. We did 4x10 there. Next moved into lat raises, 3x12 to 15. Again, I prefer sitting during lat raises because it just prevents you from swinging and getting your body into the movement. And then we moved right into front raises. This was not a superset. Did side lat raises first and then moved into front raises. And we did 3x10 to 12 there. Very last exercise of the day was a machine single arm row. You can do this on a cable, you can do this with a dumbbell. I just preferred the machine at the time. They all really are the same. It just, if the gym's busy, you can pick and choose which one you prefer. But again, single arm, nice and slow, really allowing that stretch of the lat and then squeezing at the back of the exercise. Like you'll get such a good squeeze. And then we did 3x10 there. So super short and sweet workout. Absolutely loved this one. And if you want, I decided to, at the end of this workout, just walk an extra 10-15 minutes just to get my legs moving because I knew I was going to be sitting at a desk for a really long time that day, but super chill. That was the full work of workouts. What did I just say? That was the full week of workouts. I hope that helped give you guys some guidance if you're feeling lost or don't know where to begin. Also, let me know if you liked that style of workouts where I was showing you every single day, or if you prefer individual workouts like dumbbell only or ab circuits, cardio, stuff like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I love you guys so much and I will talk to you next time.